The second AI did his crossover and like I figured out how to do it with a lacrosse stick, it was a wrap. Like in terms of my mentality, I was just like, there's not a person out here that can go every time I step on the field.
Because you don't even know what this is.
No,
you have no clue.
And then they started to catch on. Like I'd say probably, I started doing it like 7th grade. They started catching on like sophomore year of college. And so then I just changed it up.
You got it in for 6.
Yeah, and then I started doing like an in and out cross became like my split dodge now. So now I'm going back and forth, and they're like, that's a whole new one. Now they're trying to figure that one out. So I just kept rolling out basketball moves that made sense to me and my body and my footwork with a lacrosse stick.
Yeah, Kyle is the Tony Hawk of lacrosse. He was inventing moves and all of that.
The uninterrupted crossover.
That's what it's called, the uninterrupted.
So I'm not gonna interrupt you at all. Welcome to Iman Amongst Men, powered by Shea Moisture Men. I'm Iman Shumpert here with my big brother Ahrii. Ahrii, go and say what up to the people.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Ahrii. This week, we got in the studio 2017 Lacrosse World Champion, inductee into the Johns Hopkins Athletic Hall of Fame, 10-time, quote, unquote.
All-star.
No, little asterisk, 10-time, but really 7-time All-Star.
Thank you for coming along, Kyle.
Of course.
Can we get some?
Of course.
Bring my dog on out to the show.
Give him the real applause.
Yeah, man. It's great when you wear the headphones and you can hear all the people in the building.
Yeah.
The theme of today's episode is going to be representation matters. When we talk about the importance of representation in spaces like lacrosse that are traditionally not black, what do you feel like the importance of that is?
Yeah. Well, for starters, excited to be here. Big fan of you both. Big fan of the show. So fired up to be
this
here.
guy?
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just as surprised.
Thought it was just me and my mama, man.
No, you guys are killing it.
You and what?
You know what I mean? Like,
Clip.
Look, either way,
I'm sorry,
I'm
Kyle.
happy to be here and big fan. But in terms of representation, man, I think it's a big question, but I guess I'd go back to the beginning. My dad played. So my dad started a team at Morgan back in Baltimore, historically black college. And so I always felt represented because my superhero down the hallway played. So like my earliest lacrosse memory is a life-size picture of him, Morgan State jersey, playing lacrosse. And so like that was like the end game for me. Let me be that. Let me put on that number 18 jersey and play that. So representation is something that I've learned. My peers that are also black didn't have that experience. Like a father didn't play or someone in their family didn't play. So anytime they saw another brown pair of legs across the field, like it was empowering for them. So representation is everything.
Dang. The boy said a brown pair of legs.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that's how you knew. We walk out to a field and
crazy.
you
I
look
just
across,
thought about that.
Try and find a pair.
Like, I'm not even.
For sure.
I never went into a sporting event thinking
I had to
that.
look for black people. That's what I'm saying. I always felt like it was just about to be a bunch of black dudes. And if I saw an all-white team, I'm like, man, they finna run so many screens. It's finna be so many picks, man. Oh, man. Everybody can shoot. Yeah. They gonna be super disciplined. Like, oh, my God.
Hard defense.
Yeah.
Slapping the floor. Yeah, the whole deal.
But yeah, I think that's I share that with you. I was big on what my dad did. Like, his Loyola stories, like, I played ball at Loyola. He had his high school jersey. You remember his white and blue? He had his white and blue high school jersey.
We used to always try to wear
with the
them.
number 4. He had the number 4.
Yeah.
So that's like people don't know. Like me going back to number 4 is like, I don't know. 4 is just a number that I can't get away from.
Yeah.
Everything around me has been 4s. We got this 4 boys. All the guys are saying foes this and foes that, and it's I'm wearing number 4 because my dad wore it. I always like 4 seasons in a year. Like I can't deal with one thing just all the time. I don't know. Like,
I get that.
Yeah, so it's like it's poetic for me for you to say that. Like, I saw my dad do it, so that was the representation I needed, and I know it's for a lot of people. Especially young kids, like we don't see a lot of black lacrosse players. I'm glad to have you here today because it's like, gee, for real, like you are finna be the representation, dog. You finna be the stamp. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
Might as well shave your shit bald and be Jordan. Shave your shit bald and wear baggy shorts out here. You might as well start your
Look, maybe.
He said,
Might
look.
do it. Might
Right,
do it.
he already thinking about it.
He
already had thoughts.
he looking at me like, nigga, I got a sneaker already on. Nigga.
One more believing.
Exactly.
One more believing.
Exactly. You and your mom, huh?
All right, man. Talking to you, Kyle, about representation and your father playing lacrosse. What did that do to you, like, typically at, like, a young age? Like, I know you got introduced to a young. Like, what do you think that did and, like, help mold you?
Yeah, no, so
like he gave you the game? He, like, taught you?
no, what I think the best thing my dad did, actually, was not push it. So I thought that I was either a basketball player, a soccer player, and then lacrosse was a third sport I played. In terms of the amount of time I spent on it. Like, I thought that it was gonna be basketball or soccer. And then so what happened as I got older, I started understanding, like, my family history. Like, no, my dad went to historically Black college, started a team at a historically Black
Damn, I
college.
wish I'd have did that.
And so, like,
Wait, he started the team?
yeah, so it was my dad, his coach Chip Silverman, and then a few of his classmates, obviously, at the time. They didn't have a team at Morgan when they were there.
You
And
said
they
Morgan
started,
State?
yeah, Morgan State in Baltimore.
Damn.
They started the program. And so, obviously, as a kid, you don't understand any of that
Right,
stuff.
right.
But as I got older, and, like, some of those stories that dad told you when you're, like, a little guy that I didn't believe, but I got older and started, like, hearing them from his peers and understand the magnitude of what they did, it was like, I'm not playing anything but like, lacrosse is my path, and I'm just gonna have to build on what they did. Like, they started a program. I'm gonna go to a Division I program and win a national championship, and try and play professionally and try and ride this thing as much as I can. So it all started from the beginning with him, but he didn't push it, which is, I think, the best part about it.
That's
That's
crazy.
dope. Yeah,
'Cause
that
it's
shit was
like-
like a legacy.
Basketball and soccer was his favorite, so that's raw. Because lacrosse is kind of like basketball and
Oh,
Like his
yeah.
marriage
with
of
a
both.
stick.
Oh, that's why
With
it
a
worked.
stick.
No, no,
They
it
added
is.
a weapon.
Yeah, it
That's how
is.
you look at it?
No, so why I had success, definitely early, from, like,
'Cause he-
high school to
yeah, he
college,
coordinated as hell.
it was all AI crossover on turf, but with a lacrosse stick, right? So if you hit somebody that doesn't play basketball
They have
with
no
that
clue
move,
how
they
to
don't know
move
what
that
they're
footwork.
like. They're jumping the other way, and I was cooking people by, like, 3 and 5 yards
Real talk,
laterally.
his angles was different.
Yeah,
like,
because I
he
was
see
used to
it
playing
different.
hoops, right?
You
so,
see in basketball angles, you like, I just got to keep the ball away from hands. Like, you looking at it. I see why that would
He
work.
getting too comfortable. He gonna try to play lacrosse tomorrow.
look, I'll send him
If y'all
package.
need
We'll
a
get him a
guy.
stick. We'll get him a stick.
If y'all need a
God.
guy.
Oh,
Nah,
you need
Kyle gonna come to your crib and rough you up.
No,
Yeah,
we'll send you a stick. We'll
Nah,
send
I'll
you a
teach
helmet.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna teach you.
I'll teach
Yeah,
you.
make sure they're recording.
Remember Hulk hands, remember? Hulk hands, remember?
Like, you have your own camera team? No? Like, no? Okay. Don't even worry about it. Like, we'll be fine. I'm not gonna make any noise.
How did you decide on committing to John Hopkins?
So, a couple things. It's down the street from where I grew up. Like, literally, I grew up probably about 8 minutes away by car. I went to high school, lower school, middle school, kindergarten, all like 2 miles from there. So, like,
And where's this?
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
This for my,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
from
saying?
from
For the
Baltimore.
people at home.
And so when I started getting recruited, like, I was a hardcore, still am, Michael Jordan guy. Like, I wanted UNC badly. Like, that was my mom's from North Carolina. She's from Durham. Like, I needed to go there. And so back then, when you get recruited, you get 5 visits. So you pick your visits
Me
and then
too.
you go do that. Right.
5 officials.
Right. 5 official joints. So, like, I went to UNC, loved it. Like, I knew I
Unbelievable.
would.
Unbelievable.
Had an interesting talk with the staff. At the time, there was one other guy from Baltimore that I guess was above me on their depth chart. And their decision, it was a really candid conversation on their part, which I appreciated. They were just like, we have to see what he does. And then depending on that, we'll see
We'll take
what you do. And so obviously I left like, nope, done with that. Went to Hopkins the following weekend, like with my best friend in the world, who remains my best friend. And we both committed there like a week later.
That's
And that
dope.
was that. Yeah, but I mean, I wanted UNC until that conversation.
So you want to tell us how that visit went? Or?
Look, at UNC, it was fine. I kept my composure.
Look,
I was
he's
like, I'm
getting excited.
I'm gonna run into these people later in life. Like, I'm gonna keep my composure, right? But
Oh.
for 4 years, like, we wore UNC out. Never
Oh, I was
lost.
the same way.
Yeah,
I
4-0 against them. Game winner down on their campus sophomore year. Like, no,
He
like,
was me.
yeah,
I did
I had
the
to.
same thing. I was mad as
Oh,
hell.
Yeah.
You went at them.
Oh, bro,
Mhm.
what? Yeah, they told me, they was like, yo, Larry's our point guard. And I knew Larry Drew. That was my dog. But I was like, I don't get to play point. Larry Drew.
Yeah.
Like, now you gonna turn me against my boy?
Yep, that's how it goes. Yep.
Like, damn, it was tough. It was war after that. Dexter Strickland, all out, it was war after that.
That's how it goes. But I appreciated the conversation over. I'd rather have that conversation and make the right decision for me and my family than him not say that, me commit there.
Did you feel like you were steering those conversations, or was your dad with you on them visits? Like,
no, Pops didn't even come on those. So my dad was a doctor, a surgeon. He retired about 3 years ago. But so on those visits, like that was typically me. In Baltimore, they came because Baltimore's down the street. But like, no, UNC, they weren't there.
Say 2.
What's that? 2.
How he beat it? He beat
the accent
with the
who knew what up, shorty?
Yeah, no,
shorty.
That's the best accent in the world.
Baltimore
is the best accent.
See, he said Baltimore. Like you could tell he's trying to fix it.
I'm trying.
Oh, you trying to fix it?
But he's had to fix it.
Yeah,
he's had to fix it.
Yeah, he's done work. Yeah, you've been with a specialist, haven't you?
He's gotten his diction right. But yeah, I always tease people I love that accent.
Yeah, me too.
Me and I got into it with Josh Shelby during the draft work. It was the first time I really got to hear the accent like that.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle of fighting during the draft workouts because we just trying to compete.
Yeah.
And he starts talking, and then we get in the locker room because the Bulls was over us. They like, all right, bro, y'all stop competing. Like, it's over. Like, y'all done finished the drill.
Right.
We in the locker room, and his accent just start coming out. No, because I didn't even, like, if I knew, sure, we would have put them gloves on. Yo, I'm like, yo, that accent.
Yo, you kind of got it.
Huh?
You've been practicing that.
You know, I practice a lot of little impressions. you know.
Yeah, you kind of got it.
Practice a couple card tricks on the side. So.
No, he couldn't just take the compliment.
You teach me lacrosse, I'm going to play lacrosse.
I got you. I got you. I'm going to send the package.
You hear me? I would try anything. Boy, I was on Dancing with the Stars. You think I want to play lacrosse? I will play tomorrow. What y'all got, 3 numbers? Y'all wear like number 128.
No, not an outdoor.
Can you wear 3 numbers?
I don't think I've seen 3 numbers.
What's your number?
18.
18? Why 18?
Because my dad wore.
But you can't even do it on the hands. Why would they let y'all do 18?
What do you mean? Oh, we go up to 99. Like, people would be going to 99. Oh, you're talking about for penalties?
Yeah. Or that, like, all kids, all kids everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I remember they didn't used to make jerseys. Only in the pros could you get, like, those off numbers. Yeah, because they be in the pros, they'll give you that. But I'm like, all your life you had 18?
Yeah.
They even had them on pennies for y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Being one of the few black lacrosse players, what has that taught you? I know that's kind of broad. Like, do you promote it and try and get as many black people to be like, nah, dog, fuck with lacrosse? Like, is it one of them type of things?
No, it's a good question. Kind of. I think it's like there's 2 answers. So I think as a black lacrosse player, I've been lucky. I know that. I know that my experience from my childhood, honestly, straight up to retiring last year, was like irregular and I never really ran into too much racism. I certainly never ran into anything like direct to me. I'm sure some shit was said in the stands or something, but never like another player or another team like beefing with me from a race perspective.
You didn't feel like they hit you harder?
No, like I never ran into any of that stuff. I had teammates that had my back. Like I just, my experience wasn't that. And I think because it wasn't, I was like always confident, empowered, like always myself while playing. I think what I've learned as I've gotten older is that this sport is a real opportunity for black kids. It's really for any kid, but we're talking specifically about representation and being a black kid. Like, this can get you into school. And basketball scholarships are tough to come by. Football scholarships tough. Everybody's so good these days at this. I mean, you look at the top lacrosse schools. You're talking Cornell, Princeton, Yale, Harvard, Hopkins. You're talking about some of the highest level of institutions available, and this sport can get you there.
You got to be able to do your books too, though.
Oh yeah, no choice.
Don't just lacrosse your way. They go lacrosse you out.
Yep.
The fuck is you talking
You're right
about?
back at home.
You gonna be back to the ghetto.
See, that's not right.
Hey, for real though, I'm just saying, he threw Cornell out there like that was sweet. That is not sweet.
No, to them, he like,
think about it.
Been there.
Yeah. No,
For real,
there's a
though.
ton of schools. There's
No,
a
for real
laundry
though. They
list,
do.
for
It will.
sure.
It will get you into some nice institutions.
That academic responsibility would be a
It
bitch.
is a lot.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech was a lot. Like
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought it would be sweet, and it wasn't sweet.
Right,
It's not.
right.
It's not smooth sailing like you be thinking. Like you really got to work. I'd be glad that I did the work.
Yeah.
I'm glad I know what I could pull out of the tank.
Right.
Like I'm super glad that they pushed me.
Yeah.
But when I really think about it, I'm like, bro, like where's these schools that they was saying that they was like, yeah, man, the girls help us with our homework. They're like, what do the girls do y'all homework? I'm like, bro, where this school at, shorty? They got, I'm like, they got cameras. They got people walking up and down the aisle. Ain't no cheating going on in here. Like y'all better.
Hell no.
I'm like, y'all, man, where these other schools at, man? I ain't
know
they didn't
had the
recruit me.
Got cameras on y'all?
What, and tech?
When
Yeah,
you
boy,
taking the
hell
test?
taking
no.
tests,
Man,
yeah.
They're not finna
think-
play
I
with you.
did not know
I think
that.
that's standard practice. Yeah.
See, Ahrii went to them colleges, man. He should have played lacrosse.
No, they just
Should've pulled up.
trusted their students. I mean,
Which
it
seems
was not
fair.
a bad
Yeah,
thing.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
seems
we
fair.
was held to a high academic standard. you
Yeah.
know. It's a certain standard.
You down
that
in
we
my
keep
education,
it.
son?
The
be clear,
Georgia
I'm not.
Institute of
We're
Technology.
good.
I'm just saying, we went to
Good.
well, we went to the top 3 technical school, technology school in the States, right? Okay. For my listeners,
Yeah,
man, Alice
for listeners.
Montgomery is in the crowd with us right now. You know what I'm saying? You can't see her on camera right now. I don't know if she's dressed for the occasion, but what I do know is she went to a top 3 technical school in the country with me. It was quite the challenge. There was no shortcut. So if y'all do get recruited to go there, be ready to study your ass off.
The thing about lacrosse, just finishing that last point, was that with black kids specifically, like when you think football or hoops, right? Because that was, at least when I was growing up, that was like the easy one, right? All of us just go down to the park, you play those two.
Mhm.
Like lacrosse is one of those that doesn't come quickly. Like like if you can't throw and catch the ball, none of the game is fun. Like you just can't do any of the fun stuff that make you fall in love with it. So
But you can hit people.
you can if you can catch them, right? Because it's different, right? You can't hit people from the
But
back.
you're not going to be good if you're just walking around.
You said
hitting
if you can
people.
catch them.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like so in lacrosse,
running.
you got to be
They're
in
running
front of me
from
inside.
you.
Yeah,
So that means I got to line up,
It's
hit
not
you,
football.
and I can't wrap you up. I
yeah, it's
can't
not
do none of
football.
that.
We're not standing in front of each other and
Yeah.
then the whistle blows and you go. This is like imagine hoops and you're playing defense on somebody, but they got a 10-yard run at you coming straight at you. You can definitely hit them if you guess right, but there's a good chance that
Oh, you
he's
can't
gonna-
hit him in the
he'll get-
side.
Yeah, like he can
Yeah.
get skinny on you, do whatever he's got to do.
Oh
and-
yeah, like if
Nah,
he's
that's a
elusive.
penalty.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But if I
You
could
can't hit
line
in
him
the
up,
back.
I could line him up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
You see what I'm saying?
absolutely.
So you're just going to go out there and try to line people up. First penalty, you out.
I'd say
You
I
don't.
see one
I like
hit a game.
contact sports.
One real hit a game at most. Just doesn't happen.
Because y'all be so focused
Dudes
on
are so
doing
fast.
moves.
Yeah, dude.
And
too
you
fast.
So
can't.
it's y'all
you
turning
can't
into the
connect.
NBA.
Yeah, but it.
They let y'all hit, and
But-
y'all
but
want to be the
even in-
NBA.
but
Y'all
in
want
this one-
fouls and Euro steps.
No, but
You
there
doing
are-
Euro
there are-
steps.
Yeah, people trying to invent a Euro step in lacrosse. That's new this year.
Yeah,
but-
just pull the stick
Yeah,
over.
yeah. Pull it underneath. But the hitting. Yeah, you seen it. You
Mhm.
seen it. Hey,
Right.
yeah, you seen it. But the hitting is like it's almost if you hit someone and it's like a big hit, like a football type collision.
Yeah.
You take yourself out of a play. And typically, when somebody's dodging to the goal, they beat their man,
Copy.
and you hit him. Now you got to be the
Ruined
third
it.
slide, and you're
That's
on the
why he
ground
said
somewhere.
you got to learn how to play
Ruined it.
this.
Yeah,
I mean,
so just
y'all
a
would
learning
all been
curve.
mad at me.
So this-
like,
yeah.
Shump, what the fuck you doing, man?
No, they're going to be
Pop
looking at
people.
Kyle like, Kyle.
You brought him.
Yeah,
you brought him here.
You gave him our stick. What the fuck? Why is he tackling people? Let's reel it back in.
Yeah.
When you hear the phrase acclimating without assimilating, what does that mean to you, Kyle?
I think that comes down to your environment, really. And I talked about my situation earlier. Like being able to be your true self is tough to find in a team environment, right? Like from the time you're a little guy straight up through pros. And it's about the people you're around. It's your parents, it's your siblings, it's your community, it's your teammates, it's your coaches. And again, every step of the way, I was around people that let me be me, whatever shape that took on that season, that day. Were there times, excuse me, as a black athlete in a predominantly white sport that like I felt alone? Of course. Like, I'm not kidding when I say my mom and I drive to a field at tournament and we like look out for 20 fields and don't see another brown pair of legs, right? And I think as I've gotten older with kids now myself, I can't even begin to imagine what my mom felt, right? Because she's worried about her little boy on this field because they come from a different time than we do. And she would always try and seek out another Black parent to understand their journey, make friends, because it's only gonna be 4 or 5 of us for these next couple years, you know? And so I was lucky. I had people that supported me. And so I never, the fact that I was a Black lacrosse player, I very rarely thought about it and worried about it. I was empowered by it. That
That's
makes
dope.
sense.
No, that's dope because you usually hear stories of, athletes who aren't in a predominantly Black
Yeah.
space being looked down upon. And it's actually dope to me that you have an
Yeah.
experience that doesn't involve any of that.
Yeah, and to keep it a buck, like I feel like it wasn't until I got old enough and established enough to even feel comfortable having a conversation like this one, because my peers, a lot of them, Black lacrosse players that I played against, played with, like didn't have my experience, like had real live racial situations happen on their teams or at their college or whatever, like things that happen, and it just wasn't my experience. So I always felt, I don't want to say fake, that's the wrong word, but I always felt like I was speaking about something that I didn't experience, or what it's not fair to, like I couldn't dive into it. And that what I've netted out as I've just been lucky. Like I've been in a really good situation.
You're like, it's not that it don't exist. It
Oh,
just
it
didn't
exists.
happen to
It
me.
exists. Yeah, it exists without a doubt. It just I didn't personally experience it.
Right. That's good shit.
Still time left. I'm still look, I'm still in the sport, right? Like I don't want to make it seem like
it's crazy.
all the work is done.
Yeah, no.
It's crazy.
Still work to do.
Though that's a applause to that organization you was with and who you played against to have that respect. Do you feel like a lot of it is fear?
Could be. It could be.
Is that what you play off of?
No, look, man. Again. I told you.
I ain't never got to see it. Like I don't know how lacrosse go. Like I don't know if you sit in the locker room before and y'all doing how we bop. Like
yeah.
I don't like motherfuckers before I play. Like
no, that's
it'd be like, gee, and if I felt like I was the only Black kid, then I'm like, oh, y'all in trouble.
Oh, absolutely no. That's a chip on your shoulder.
I'm finna be a terror. I'm finna talk loud the whole time.
Up until the last time I stepped off a field a year ago. Yeah, I've had that. I've had that from the beginning. I had it when I was younger, but didn't understand. The second AI did his crossover, and I figured out how to do it with a lacrosse stick, it was a wrap. In terms of my mentality, I was just like, there's not a person out here that can guard me. Every time I step on the field.
Because you don't even know what this is.
No,
you have no clue.
And then they started to catch on. I'd say probably, I started doing it 7th grade. They started catching on sophomore year of college. And so then I just changed it up.
You got it in for 6.
Yeah, and then I started doing in and out cross became my split dodge now. So now I'm going back and forth, and they're that's a whole new one now. They're trying to figure that one out. So I just kept rolling out basketball moves that made sense to me and my body and my footwork with a lacrosse stick.
Yeah, Kyle is the Tony Hawk of lacrosse. He was inventing moves and all of that.
The uninterrupted crossover.
That's what it's called, the uninterrupted.
Man.
Don't interrupt.
I'm not going to interrupt you at all. Continue to do whatever you're doing. I'm not going to get in your way. Was there ever any added pressure to perform being Black? Feeling like I have to have all the goals, or I have to do this, or I have to do that, or we're down, so I have to do something miraculous because I'm Black?
Yeah. The pressure, you all are athletes, the pressure was there, but I don't think it was because I'm Black. It was because I was the guy. You are our player. You are up for player of the year. We're down 1. Go do something. Make something happen.
Oh, so you never felt like they looking at me like, boy, you supposed to be faster than that, you Black?
Oh, hell, because I was. Ain't nobody running by me. Back then, my prime, no, bro, no. No, never.
Oh, you just didn't take it as a Black thing.
No, I took it as you're the guy. You better be the guy. You're the guy
so
out
he
here.
Thought
be the
of
guy.
himself as a robot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I became obsessed with the process. You obviously NBA is different, and even honestly D1 basketball is different. But I went to a high school. We weren't very good at basketball, lacrosse, or soccer. We were in the top conference in lacrosse, but the worst team in the top conference. Basketball, we were in the 4th or 5th worst conference, and middle of the road there. And then soccer, we were okay. And so but I went to a Quaker school. Coaches never yelled, equal playing time in some situations. So never all that competitive. And so when I got to college at Hopkins, and you're watching film every day, you're lifting, you're training, you're on the wall, I became obsessed. I was like, oh, I was already ridiculously athletic. And like now I have all these tools to like learn the game and improve every day. Like this is a wrap. Yeah, it's free cafeteria. Yeah, that's right.
Give me a card to the gym. I can go take a shower whenever. Wow. That's what I was on, dog.
Mom.
Yeah, you remember, dog, I used to go to, well, you remember I used to go out. We go out, do stuff, and be like in the middle of like talking shit and like take girls, everybody go from the club, we go back and work out.
Yeah.
Just like hoop, one-on-one, whatever. Like our coaches used to come to the gym like, what is wrong with y'all? Like, y'all got anybody just sitting in the locker room
trying to get reps in.
Be like, bro, I just felt inspired, coach. I've never had a gym, man. AC in here. Like, it's hot in Atlanta. It's AC in here. It's nothing like being a college kid and realizing, bro, at 2 a.m. you could do what you love to do.
Not a college kid. That's just poor.
Man, it ain't even the poorness of it.
Whenever you walk into places being like, man, they got AC. Like something going wrong at the crib.
Through it.
There you go. Yeah, like not the best point of your life at that moment.
Remember we had the hot summers when we did
sleep on the floor.
Hey, in the summer, people would come up to our room and be like, why they know where y'all blankets at? Like we
just laid out on the floor.
No, we got the sheet. Right. It's just the sheet on there. We ain't gonna need the blanket. We just need the pillow. Mine's just laid out like this. No shirt. Still sleeping
like
on it.
Slaves.
Oh, bro. Right. Hey, once you get used to it, it be like, shit, who sleeps with blankets?
No, until somebody come over, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you be like, what? Y'all got blankets?
And it's all awkward.
Y'all got the blankets over there?
Yeah, back to this.
It don't even be cold over here.
Like, stand up right now.
My bad, you took me back for a second. My bad, you took me back. Go ahead.
Yeah,
man.
Kyle, can you pinpoint an instance in your career where you think it was hard or difficult to maintain your identity?
Damn. That's a good question.
That's Ahrii's favorite thing to say.
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
I don't think so. I could certainly identify points throughout my, I'd say professional career specifically, that as this new landscape changes or social media, some shit happens, people have an expectation for you to say something. So I can identify moments where there was anxiety around like, what am I gonna say? What medium can I even say it on? Like in college, I was a writing major and like pro lacrosse was just starting. So I actually had no plan originally to even play pro lacrosse. My idea was to graduate as a writing major from Johns Hopkins University, get an internship with ESPN, and journalism was going to be my life. And so I'm comfortable in writing and I'm comfortable in a forum that I can like say everything. I'm not comfortable in like 140 character tweet or something like that. So I think I've definitely had anxiety around moments that have happened specifically over the last 4 or 5 years that like Black people feel some type of way about. We all felt it. But like never losing my identity, more just trying to figure out how to express myself in the appropriate way. Yeah. That makes sense.
I suck at that too. Sometimes I sit there quiet because I'll be like, bro, somehow what I'm saying is somehow they're not going to read it.
They're going to grab a soundbite. They're going to grab a quote.
They're just going to read it wrong.
Yeah, right.
But it'd be like, bro, I really, like, I feel like I don't like this or I don't like this, but I feel I'll wait for like a moment that I can get off a full.
Yeah, like a situation like this, like something where you can actually explain where you're coming from and it's not just a quick drop in the pan.
It's a great show. Whatever you need to say, boss, you just let it go. Just let it go.
I'll have to think about it.
Just let you just let it go, man. You just let it go.
Have you found throughout your career that there's like a community among other athletes, not necessarily Black, but just other athletes in your space or in your sport where, you know, they all represented the same story or the same, you know, situation?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm in a predominantly white sport, right? So you have a lot of these cats that have very similar backgrounds. But the good news, like I said, is like I think our sport is at a point where, from a diversity perspective, like it's being discussed on a daily basis. People are talking about, like, decision makers in our sport are talking about how do we make this sport more diverse? How do we get more folks involved in this sport from different socioeconomic backgrounds, like different races, everything, right? Like I think you know how teams go. I think the best part of a team is, and the great teams I've been on, you won championships, like the best teams I've been on, it's like everybody's from different places, but you figure out some sort of common ground. You spend so much time together that, like, my stories, you find the synergy between your stories growing up, and all of a sudden we're a great team. We got chemistry on off the field, and you go get a ring. Like, those have been my favorite memories from playing as a pro in college, high school, middle school, and so on. And so, yeah, like there's certainly a lot of folks from similar socioeconomic backgrounds in the sport, but I think collectively we're trying to change that.
Give me a common ground. Give me a common ground that caught you off guard.
Think of a good one from recently. There's been a bunch of crazy conversations from the last few years. I have a good one. So there was another player, you know, when George Floyd was murdered and that whole situation happened, right? So, like, the black players in the sport from, I'd say, pro straight down to middle school that, like, kind of could feel what was going on. We all, like, felt something about that particular situation, right? Like that hit us. I think folks of all ages maybe differently, but, like, we all felt it.
It's when they kept reading the time.
Yeah, it was a lot. And so there were a lot of discussions within lacrosse during that time. And, like, again, to my point earlier, like, sometimes in those situations, because of my upbringing and my background and my experiences, I would feel like, well, I can't even jump on this topic and, like, give an opinion because my life has been very far removed from that. But in that specific situation, we were getting into some heavy talks with different teammates, opponents, and we were all just trying to feel each other out and figure out, like, even if you're white or I'm black, whatever, why I need you to understand why I feel this. Maybe that wasn't my experience, but why I feel this. And I had a player I spoke to that, like, you know, maybe on the surface, his socioeconomic background makes you believe one thing, but in actuality comes from a family of alcohol users, drug users, and, like, is the second generation out of that, right? And so, like, there's a feeling on his part of, like, understanding having to come from nothing and make his way to playing at a, you know, very high level college, and then playing professionally. And so, again, that's a situation that for me, person completely misjudged, right? Like, I didn't know that.
Right, because you would think his shit is like, yeah, your dad paid for this shit, you're just
I'd
here.
have no idea, but it's just like a misjudged situation. So that's why I love sport. I love it because you're forced to have tough conversations and talk through stuff and find some sort of level ground that y'all can both go get it together. Because y'all know this, like, if I'm not messing with you off the court, but we got to go out here and perform, like, we might make it float for a little bit, but eventually there's going to be a problem that's going to manifest itself on this floor or on this field, and we're going to lose because of it. And so that's how that goes. So I guess that'd be one call out. There've been tons of them, though, for sure.
Was it ever a time where it was, like, difficult, like, other than the George Floyd situation, of course, where, like, it was hard to get through to another teammate, and you think it might have been, like, a cultural difference or a cultural understanding?
Look, there's tons of stuff like that, just in general. I think.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think in general, like, you know, as a black athlete, a predominantly white sport, there's going to be differences that you have with your teammates. Like, that's just how it goes. I remember early on, it's funny because you were just talking about sleeping with a sheet. Early on, I remember going to my teammate, this is a dumb one, and this certainly isn't as heavy as the last topic, but, like, I remember my mom dropped me off for a sleepover. And and so I'm already in my head, like, you know, but keep in mind, I went to a private school, like, so these are my peers. This wasn't like a random sleepover. This is like somebody I went to school with. I remember they put me on the couch and was fine, but then gave me a sheet. And so in my head, thinking, like, I get a comforter, a pillow, whatever. And I seem to find out all these people just sleep with the sheet. Like, that was like a real difference. I remember calling my mom, being like, she's like, how's it going? Like, come get me. I need a comforter. Right. I need a pillow.
Fucking people don't have pillows.
Right, yeah, and so, like,
they don't do the pillows, Mom. They don't do the fucking pillows, Mom.
So little shit like that stuff in the locker room.
Hey, man, I'd have been over their crib. Like, hey, man, I got some chips. Y'all had some chips.
Look,
That's all I need.
Nice. No, the house was
That's
nice.
all I need is some chips.
It wasn't that
and
they couldn't bring the pillows.
You got me on the couch. I know it's a TV across from you.
The TV was nice.
Exactly.
TV was nice.
Exactly. They set you out.
Yeah, but the combination.
You misread it.
Yeah, I needed a little more. But yeah, there's little shit in locker rooms, right? Right. Rap songs playing. Like just like, and nobody dropping them.
I was
like,
just about to say.
No.
Okay,
I haven't experienced that, but like I'm just saying that's one of those.
Do you look out for one of those? Like you better watch it.
You be bopping. You're like,
yeah, right.
you be bopping. But no, like I've never run into that.
I used to be waiting on white boys to do stuff like that, but they be, for the most part, they be pretty respectful.
Yeah.
I ain't never really.
I have seen it happen though, and it's so funny.
I've always wanted it to, just to see what I would do.
No. This is so funny. I've seen it happen, and I was feeling compelled to say something because I was from the outside looking in, wasn't involved. Yeah. So I'm just like Larry David style, like I want to say something.
Right, yeah.
He said it, you know he said it.
I want to do it.
And he gonna slide out like, no, I seen it. Like,
right.
I was finna. Another little white girl came like, what the fuck did you say? I'm offended. And I was just like,
yeah.
Like they're learning.
Yeah.
They're learning.
You listen to that.
Yeah, like I didn't even have to get upset. Right. Thank you.
Yeah, got it together.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, now.
And that's been my experience for the most part. Like somebody else saying something. And again, I haven't personally experienced that.
Yeah, my only bad experience, you remember Dan Freeman? When they kept Dan Freeman, they lived across the alley, man. So I had this best friend, dog, and I went over there to stay the night, and they was talking about doing something, and they was talking about chocolate.
Yeah.
So me and my mama milk chocolate crazy. Chocolate. Shorty, they bring out Nutella. I say, what? Bro, I ate that shit. I say, man, get that away from me, man. I threw that, man. After they gave, I called, I talked to my mom about that. I'll never forget this. I talked to my mom about that for like 20 minutes, but I was like to the side, like,
see what these
Nutella? Yeah. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna be sick.
Right.
It's just like something about it. That was like my culture.
Yeah, man.
That was my culture shocker for the.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was my only one. Yeah. Everything else, they be cool. Though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
I play ball with white boys all the time.
For sure.
I just be liking them to be able to shoot. Like Mike Miller.
Most of them can.
Them white boys can shoot that ball, man. Shoot that clip.
Hell
so
yeah.
You just come out there just racist.
For sure.
Just labeling everybody.
Yeah, I'll be the dunker. You be the shooter. Like, I'll be the athlete. You line him up. All right.
How it goes.
Let's get to one of the favorite topics on the show, fatherhood.
Yeah.
What lessons do you feel like your father instilled in you through the sport and then off the court?
Yeah.
Well, off the field.
No, I know what you meant. Be there. Whatever you have to do, be there. Figure it out. I think.
Talk about that all the time.
Yeah. When I decided to retire last year, it wasn't largely because like my body, I mean, everything hurts for sure. I played 17 years professionally. But it was every weekend of the summer, I'm gone. Like just every weekend. You come Thursday to Sunday, I'm out. And so, my kids now, my wife and I, they're 7 and one just turned 5. If you leave every weekend for 4 months, I could blink and like they're different people. And so my retirement was largely about I have to be around them more. My daughter, she's really similar to my wife, like super high energy, attitude, sweet as hell, beautiful. Like she's incredible. And I felt like I was missing it. Especially with her. Our son just turned 5, and he's awesome as well. Love him. He's just crazy. He's a boy. Like he is
a guy's guy.
Yes, very much a boy. But Brooke, she felt different when I kept coming back. It was like my wife and I had a conversation, and there was, if I probably would have retired in 2020 if we didn't have a bubble, because COVID hit, and so we pivoted our season from just like y'all. Like we went from regular season to a bubble in Utah, and I was like, I can't have my last season be a bubble, so I played one more. But yeah, I mean, those children mean everything to me, and I think the advice, if I had to pick one thing, show up as much as you can.
Yeah,
even when they don't want you to.
I always say they remember time the best.
Absolutely.
They like you want them to like me and my wife, like we wanted that first birthday party to just be like this. And it's like the kid doesn't remember the birthday party at all. They have no clue what y'all grown asses doing. They don't care. They don't care how drunk y'all get, how many stories you get. They can't use none of the gifts unless you put them in it.
Right.
But you know, the kid always remembers a face.
Mhm.
Like you can hand the kid over, they remember the energy, they remember that, and they remember being around you. The best time for me is like my little girls just sitting down, just laying on your chest. You get to watch the game and they just sit there. It is the best thing in the world. Fall asleep, wake up together. You know, I just think about that, and I think about when my little girls haven't seen me in a while, the way they try and like get a reset on life is they jump on me while I'm sitting down and just, they want to just sit there for a little bit. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to jump, play yet. They just want to, just be there for that time, that reset.
Yeah, they want you.
So when you said that, that just hit.
100%.
Undivided attention, no phone in your hand.
Yeah, they just want you.
They do that bullet run when you get home. That bullet run into your arms, man. Yeah. My bad. You took me home when you said that. What you feel like the biggest thing is? As far as just, you know, on some daddy shit. He got the you know, we got all the spectrums and shit. Like he got the 2 different household spectrums.
Got it.
So he got one kid here, one kid there.
Yeah.
But one kid with him.
But what you mean with
I'm just saying, like, as far as like he's saying, like the biggest thing is just being there. Like showing
as far as being there?
Yeah, as far as instilling something into your kid.
You know, I always try to, you know, be there as much as I can with my daughter. Just because, like, my son, I had him early, didn't spend nearly as much time with him as I needed to and should have. And I kind of like, I beat myself up for that like a long time until I had my daughter, and everything, like my whole perspective changed on how I should approach things. And like, I really started thinking, you know, thinking back into how I treated my son and all that. And I'm like, you know what, I don't need to repeat this. Like, I still need to repent for that. But at the same time, it's like, I do need to clean up my act. It was kind of like a self-reflection thing for me. So, yeah, it's super important though to be there and be present.
Absolutely.
They remember
Mike man, all right though.
Yeah.
The Mike man, all right now. He all right now. He a jokester. He all right. My dog is all right.
He's a piece of work too, man.
Love it.
Is there any specific takeaways you gained from your father that you feel like this is something, because we all have this idea of being a father and you want to do everything right, and then you have the things that your parents did that you're like, I'm definitely not doing that. When I get my kids, I ain't doing that shit. What are the things that you took from your father, like, yo, this is, as a dad, you did this, and I have to make sure I'm do that for my kid? Like, this is straight out my dad's book.
This is easy for me. So, believed in me. From the second I did anything, he believed in it.
And what is he like? Is he like the fan believed, or like the believe, like, all right, we're gonna go work on this?
No, I told you, he didn't push nothing. He was the guy that he showed up. Like me, my dad was a general surgeon, and back when I was young, this man was shock trauma in Baltimore City. So like this dude was busy. Like he was busy when I was young. But I would drive to the game with my mom. And then, you know, halftime, like I see him standing there. Like he always showed up. And then from the time that like lacrosse became my thing, he was the dude that like, you are literally on the path to having an opportunity to be one of the best to do this. Like, and he said that from the beginning in every sport. And then as lacrosse like slowly became the thing, he like lit up about it and just believed so wholeheartedly. And I understand now as a father myself that like, no different from y'all, like you believe in your kids. You tell them you love them. You anything they want to do, you push it. But for him, with sports specifically, like he believed so deeply that I was going to be what I ended up being long before I even considered that it was a possibility. And we had so many conversations. Like there's one that sticks out in my mind. I can't remember who I told the story to the other day recently, but one sticks out in my mind. We had just come off a field. I was in like 5th, 6th grade. I didn't play as much as he thought I should have. At the time, I didn't put anything together race-wise, nothing. I didn't think I had anything to do with that. But he said, like, he was doing one of his rants to my mom about like they didn't play him because of this and like doing his thing, which again,
parent shit.
Right, just bullshit, right? And who knows whether
they got to know the answers,
right? But he leans back and he says, "Well, one day, like when you're in the Hall of Fame, they can't say shit to you, can't say anything to you." And that was so early. This was like 5th, 6th grade, and I remember him saying that and him being so intense about it, and not understanding like the magnitude of how he felt until I had kids. He was so angry that he felt like someone mistreated his kid, whether he was right or not. I actually, if you ask me if I thought he was right, I think it's actually probably wrong. I think it was just the flow of the game, like whatever. I don't think it was anything deeper than that. But he was so fired up about it that someone mistreated his child. So like believed him from the very beginning and everything.
Yeah. I can say our father did the same shit. He thought we was the rawest and everything. Yeah, he was like, our dad is like,
he's involved.
Yeah, he had y'all out there working.
Oh no, he
wanted to be
the coach.
The coach. He
becomes
Ain't no not pushing. Ain't no none of that.
It worked.
He called it back home. Y'all outside y'all using that rim? Y'all outside on there? Y'all out your homework done? Y'all outside on there? All right, none of that fighting. Y'all can't be loud. Neighbors keep calling them. I'm gonna take the rim away.
It worked.
Yeah, that was him. He wanted to let us push. He would, and he want to stand there and do the
power stance.
That's my third son right here. I gotta hurry up. Get
observatory show off.
Yeah, I gotta hurry up, get back. My other son, he played football. I gotta get over there to him. Man, we gonna try and make it back. I get the last couple innings of Kasani, because he can hit. He can hit. He play baseball.
Yo, I love it.
I play baseball, so he can hit. They're my boys.
That's how he's supposed to be.
Boy, that was him.
That's how it's supposed to be. I'm
like, I thought your dad was doing the same shit. Like, oh, you don't see my boy? That's my boy. That's my boy right there. If y'all didn't know, I know we the only black ones over here, but he is.
I bet he did. I just didn't pay attention to it.
I love that.
Or if there were more black players, he probably would have been that way.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. It would have been real. Yeah, it got real loud.
Sure. Well, this is completely unrelated to anything we're talking about, but the comment you just made me think about it. Some of my favorite memories, specifically of the last 10 years, have been, now we have a good amount of black players, and we all get to spend a lot of time together, and it's so fun to hear stories, understand what you've been through without even having to talk about it, because you've been in the same shit that I've been in, and it's been a really, really fun decade or so, because now we have probably 5 black players in the top 10 to 15 players in the world. A black player just won MVP for the first time. Like,
you hear it.
Like, it's just, there's real movement happening, and it's been fun to share those experiences together.
That's fire.
That is.
That's fire.
Back to these questions.
Yeah.
Outside of sports, what was your relationship dynamic like with your father? Speaking a little bit about that.
Yeah, it was great. Again, I think my father, not speaking specifically to things he taught me, but more things I observed and took from him is that dude was a provider. He worked, and driven, organized, prepared. I've taken that from him a lot. He's always prepared. I watched him do a speech for the Premier Lacrosse League probably about a year ago, and I just happened to be at my parents' house because they're back in Baltimore too. And I'm looking at all these notes and everything he's doing. I'm like, "Hey, Mom, what's he working on?" She's like, "Well, you set him up to talk to the league tomorrow, so he's putting his speech together." And this is a 5-minute talk, and this man has 5 pages of notes, and that was him from the time I was younger, just always prepared. So we had a great relationship. Again, but the things I observed were his ability to just work and provide for his family, and that honestly shaped my pro lacrosse career and how I approached it. And then his ability to prepare. Those are the 2 things that I watched him do and latched onto them from as early as I can remember.
Did he have a good balance of it, of spending time, or it was just
impossible?
When you saw him, it was a
surgeon. It was impossible.
There's so many people that I'm hearing him talk about it, and I'm watching his face light up, which is similar to how we talk about our parents. I talk about my mom working all the time and not seeing her all day.
Yep.
And I sort of get a glow about it because I'm like, that's why I'm wired like this.
100%.
Both my parents is blue collar.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's why you up all day. You want to do everything. Nothing can stop you. That's the mentality.
100%.
Like, I could do it all. Yeah, I could get that done. Yeah,
Yeah.
the kids need this. We can
We'll
get it
figure it
done.
out.
Yeah, we'll get it
Yeah.
done. So it's like, you hear that, and I hear that see him light up. And you also get the kid that's like, you're watching your parent do the same thing. Like, and you're like, all they care about is work. And I'm trying to see where that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Fair.
Like, it's a question that
That's what I was saying.
I've always seen his version. I've always seen that version of it though. Like, especially our cloth is like, you adapt to what you're around. So you're naturally gonna work hard, or you're gonna be a kid that sees somebody not work hard and say, I'm gonna work my ass off because I don't want that.
Be that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That's
so
right.
it's
But
like,
that's not always natural.
I just never, without a doubt, I just wanted to tap into it. I don't know if I could tap into the questions with the listeners. Y'all do one of the things where I could point down and y'all get to the comment section. Tell me what y'all think.
He won't know.
Who?
You.
I just be wanting something different every once in a while. Down here. We like to ask all our guests this question. My brother wrote it, so I always let him ask it.
You let me know. We elected for me to ask this question. I know I didn't say that in the past, but
you're
I feel
now
like I should
tuning
say
in
it
to Iman against men.
That's not a thing. Just for you, Kyle. Not a thing. What are you working on improving in your personal life or about yourself?
Yeah, he get everybody with this shit.
Being present, man. I think that was part of retirement. Like, I know, I don't know if you all have like a good perception of what professional lacrosse is, but like, it's not like the other sports. Like, like backing up, I'll give context. Like, I went from player of the year, national championship in front of 50,000 people, drafted the next day to the New Jersey Pride #1, that weekend playing on a backfield at Rutgers with 250 people there. Right. So there's
it's
like
unbalanced.
It's unbalanced, and then but professional lacrosse.
Say that one time.
Right.
No, I think I
so
you
know what you know of professional lacrosse right now is Premier Lacrosse League, which is incredible.
Right.
So you turn on ABC, you turn on ESPN, and you see a packed stadium and you see lacrosse. Rewind back to 2005 when I came out of college. Pro lacrosse had just started 2 years prior. So like I went from a full stadium in Philadelphia at the Link in college to getting drafted #1 the next week and playing at a backfield at Rutgers. Not even their stadium.
Like y'all had that alma mater years of support in college.
Yeah, and then you get there and there was nothing. So I lucked out, black player, white sport. So I had a lot of marketing opportunities and partnership opportunities straight out of college. Like I signed with Nike for a decade. I was with this company STX, that's the oldest and best lacrosse manufacturer. Like released a bunch of equipment lines with them. I'm still with them 18 years later.
Damn, can I get a lacrosse?
I told you, we're gonna get you involved. I told you I got you covered.
I get some Hulk gloves.
I told you I got you covered. But
I told you.
I told you I got you covered.
I told you. Yeah, I told you.
I got sticks. We got helmets. We got it all. I got you covered.
Hey, nigga, can you get a face mask, a visor?
You show up to work 4 a.m. with his shit on. Like I told you.
Ready to work.
I told you.
Clipboard and all. Ready to work.
Teach my son this shit.
Got him covered.
Said he can get him an education.
Yeah, right.
That's right. That's
free.
right. That's free. That part's right.
For free.
Hey, man, to an HBCU, man, we got to push our kids to the HBCUs, bro. If enough of us go there, your team going to be raw.
There you go. Yeah, but the net of it is that, like, as a pro lacrosse player, especially when I came out of college, you were doing a lot of shit to make sure you could get back to the field, right? Like with all the other bigger sports, like you are a pro basketball player, a pro football player, like you're doing that. And then when you have your off season, you travel, you might do some deals, whatever.
Yeah.
Us, back then, you had to have enough going on off the field from an earning perspective, partnership perspective, et cetera, to make sure you could get on the field the next season. And just to make sure like that you could continue doing that, because you're not going to earn, back then, you're not going to earn enough on the field. So you better be earning it through partnerships, sponsorships, businesses you started, different equity you have in companies, et cetera. So for me, get back to your question, it's a long-winded answer. So it's just being present now.
It was pay to play, basically?
Yeah, so your contract back then, yeah, I mean, you don't even want to know the number. You might pass out if I told you what my rookie year contract was, the MLO as the #1 pick.
Let me see.
You actually might end the show, honestly.
No. I want to
take a guess.
The show goes on.
Take a guess. That's fair. That's right. Take a guess.
You said, how many years was it?
I was the number one pick.
And what is
back then
what is
we
the
were
rookie scale?
no, back
3
then,
years? Or it's by
1
year?
year. 1 year, yeah.
1 year deal.
Hold on. Let me give you more context because I think you're gonna go way over. So I think you're about to throw out a crazy number that's just like not in the card. So think about where I told you I played. I went from professional venue to the backfield at Rutgers University for 200 people. So you're not selling tickets, and all the other things that go along with being on the backfield. Take your guess.
Number one pick.
Number one pick.
$100,000.
60.
You want to know?
60,000.
6,500.
For you, man.
I swear. Keep in mind, back then, like that's obviously not what guys are paid now.
But hold on, bro. You just told me to
Wait,
teach
that's
my
the whole-
son
I'm
this shit.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding.
not
That was the
teaching
whole
my son this. Baby, we playing baseball. Your ass playing baseball.
Yo, that's 20 years
boy,
ago.
your ass playing
That's 20 years
baseball
ago.
or soccer. You hear me?
That's
No,
20
I'm
years
playing.
ago.
Wait, what?
Damn,
That's-
6,500 for the year.
6,500 for the year. And again,
What you do with it?
It grew not much. That's
Oh,
like
I'm saying,
that's like
you
4,200.
flip
after.
something? Yeah, what you doing with
No,
that?
2 months
Yeah.
of living. Like, that's rent.
Yeah.
Like,
You
you done.
buy a
Yeah.
couple new iPhones and flip them.
Yeah. Hope for the best.
Get an iPhone lit.
Kyle keep trying to sell the teammates the iPhone.
Yeah, no,
We gotta lock that guy up.
Yeah,
Real
honestly.
talk. I'd have been selling the Nike shoes y'all sent me, man. It's getting crazy
But no, but
out
that's the
here.
thing. There was so you look at that deal, and then that's why I signed with STX and had my own equipment. Like my dream was always I was a Jordan guy, right? So I wanted my own shoes, etc. But I went the lacrosse route. So like I had my own gloves, arm pads, helmet. I had all that stuff. I've released a bunch of lines. Again, I'm still with that company. I'm still with a bunch of my sponsors.
That's awesome.
Equity in a lot of these different.
So it's like
businesses.
skateboarding almost.
Bingo.
Damn.
Well, back then it's closer to skateboarding back then for like the elite.
Oh, now you got an actual
now you got
salary.
like real salary. You're getting endorsements from places.
So
Yeah,
they
it's
getting the
yeah, they're making money now.
league minimum.
Yeah.
What?
Take a guess. Well, look, everybody's different. So again, our rules in lacrosse, we are not there. We've grown significantly. Guys are making a living in lacrosse. Guys are making a couple $100,000 a year. Like the guys are okay.
Okay, bet.
Right. Guys are like earning a living, but it's still through playing. Guys' salaries are real.
Well,
now.
you got to get it lit
Sponsorship.
first, though.
Agreed. Completely agree.
You gotta
Completely
get it
agree.
lit.
We're trying.
Y'all need a guy that's like exciting as hell. Like,
Well, so we had a couple.
you wasn't beating people up enough.
Well, that's it. Look, we
I'm
had a
joking.
fight
I'm
last year. We had a fight last year.
Who?
Well,
The whole team?
no. We had a, or maybe that was 2 years. Yeah, it was 2 years, 3 years ago. Damn, I'm getting old. That was back in 2019.
No, COVID ruined
It
everybody's
did.
timeline.
It did. It was 3 years ago. It was 2019.
Cal didn't get in a fight. If you ain't got footage of that,
No,
he
me?
didn't do it. He
No,
didn't
not
do
me.
it.
No,
He
bro.
didn't do
No.
it.
That's not
He
me.
didn't do it.
No,
You're like, I'm too good.
no
That's
hands were
what I say,
thrown.
I'm too good.
No hands were thrown.
He didn't
from
do
my
it.
end. That's not my style.
Me neither. Hey, every show I like to tap in with the fans on social media to ask some of their burning questions that they don't get to ask me. So, Ahrii, what's the question of the day?
This burning question comes from IG. At BJ Cruz, they want to know, Shump, growing up, who were some of your non-sport role models?
Non-sport.
Good question.
Yeah, for sure. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, non-sport. I kind of have to count my dad as non-sport though, but that was my guy.
That counts.
But it don't though, because he was like a super sport guy. Like half my
Still your
stories
dad.
are like gonna go into.
Right.
Still pops.
But yeah, Malcolm X, like I had never seen somebody articulate something how I would. Like
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like we had people that would like it's so obvious you're playing the game with that answer.
Right.
And I always felt like Malcolm X gave answers that people was like, "There's no way he just said
Right.
that." But he already had all his ducks in a row.
Mhm.
So it was like, yeah, I said it.
Mm-hmm.
And I always liked his calmness and how he said shit, and he would just look people in the eye like, yeah, you better believe it. And if you don't believe that, believe them 100 suits back there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it was like the power and
Mhm.
numbers that they did, everything about that. I was just like intrigued by it. Muhammad Ali was just like, You know how people be like, stop, you shouldn't showboat. Like, he was like doing it. Like, yeah, I'm showboating.
Yeah.
And I won.
And producing, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, what you mean while I'm showboating?
Right.
You looked at my feet, didn't you? But we're fighting with hands.
Right.
Like, stupid. So it was like, I like that. Like,
Yeah.
he gonna do stuff that is like, you think it's corny, you think that poem is corny, but he gonna beat your ass. Like, I thought that was raw, like, which make me like Floyd. And then my dad, it was just like, I felt like I needed a version of like what a man is to me.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad like made it so tough for other men to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was just like, you can't cry, you can't be soft. You gotta know how to do it all, bro. I done seen the man fix a flat, fix a sink.
Yeah.
He may do some shit incorrect or sloppy, but the fact that he'll take on the job, I done seen him fix some shit, it go terrible, and watch everybody talk about him and make fun of him, and it's just like he could sit there as a man, because he know like, yeah, like, y'all wasn't gonna do shit.
Right.
It don't even be as a man. It's like as an abnormal human. He can take, he can take constant ridicule. Like, he can just sit there and eat it.
Take it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And put his suit on the exact same in the morning. Like,
get him out.
Still that guy.
Right. Fuck with it. I love
Out the door.
I love
I would lose it.
Still got an appointment at 9:15, my guy. You still
Right.
worried about yesterday?
Right.
Yeah, he be looking at you like, you still talking about yesterday
Right.
when I spilled a drink on my pants?
Like-
Weird. Like, that's what always,
love
but
it.
it was
Yeah,
like, I
hell
felt
yeah.
like, that's a man.
Yeah.
Like, the flat, like, we'll get a flat on the car, I get out to stop, and my wife be like, what are you doing? Like, call AAA, and I'm like, no, I kind of like,
You gotta change it.
because I know there's a spare. Like, I
Yeah.
know it's there, so
Yeah.
now I feel like I have to do it. Like,
Yeah.
my little
use
brother in Miami, it was raining outside. This is how I know my little brother is my little brother and my dad is my dad. And we all got the same dad, because this little nigga, on his birthday, he turned 30.
Right.
We having a good old time. We catch a flight. The man trying to get out the Uber to fix the flat, because he talking about, I know how to do it and I could do it so fast. And I'm like, bro, you drunk. It's raining and it's your birthday.
Right.
You forgot, low key, he can do it fast.
I know,
as
he
hell.
worked at
He worked at the tire shop.
He worked at the tire shop. He did that shit for, man, I know he could do it,
He
but
like
it's
the
your
NASA
birthday.
motherfucker. Like,
You got an outfit on, but he
got a
thinking in
gun
his
at the
mind,
house.
I'm not a
He got the
man.
drill.
He thinking I'm not a man if I don't get out here with these power tools and go crazy with my shirt off. But it was just like, that to us,
Yeah.
that's a man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Your wife panicking, your mom panicking, everybody panicking. I go check out the sound.
Right.
and be slow to do it too. Just be tired. Like, y'all scared of what? All right, I'm gonna go check the sound out, see what's going on downstairs. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? Let me go handle it. Whatever it is. Oh man, the switch broke. Y'all can't see in the basement. It's pitch black. Everybody's scared. It's a rat down there. All right, cool. I got it.
Yeah.
Like, to me, I swear to God, I was scared of rodents till I saw my dad, like, stomp at one. Like, he was just sick of my mom panicking. He like, Bambi is just a mouse.
You're
like,
not still scared of rodents?
Not really. Like, because I got a wife. I got a wife and two little girls.
Right,
like, so now I see a rodent, I can't do this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, like, what I'm going to do? Like, oh, my God. Like, what I'm going to do?
I feel like I've done
So I just, like, if I see a rat or something, like, my natural instinct is to pick my daughter up. Like, I'll pick her up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, my natural reaction is pick her up, stomp.
Oh, for sure.
Stomp and make the rat run. Like, I know a
I'm
rat.
gonna pick her up
and run.
I'm not stomping no rat.
Right.
No.
Right. What about you, Kyle? Are there any non-sport, non-athlete role models that you got?
Honestly, none that haven't been mentioned. Like Malcolm, you know, Martin. Like I think, and Dad. Like there's it's
Real talk.
It's no different from that.
Real talk, man. You got, like, I think idolizing people that can, like, articulate what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially if they look just like you.
For sure.
I think it's probably also age appropriate, right? Like, we're all relatively close in age, so the people that we were paying attention to are probably really similar.
Same spectrum, Michael Jordan. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
What about you, Ari? He don't want to say
any
Malcolm
new ones?
X.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
I want to say Ali, but I'm not going to say Ali.
Right.
One more would probably be like Barack Obama.
That's a good one. So I was going to go that route.
Yeah.
I'll let you have Barack. I was going to go Denzel. So, like, I watch a lot of, I'd
His
say the last 10
motivational shit
years,
is-
yeah, on YouTube, I'll just be watching any speech he's given, whether that's accepting an award, giving an award, or speaking at a different event. Like, I watch all of that.
It's
So I
funny
put
y'all
him on the list.
mentioned Malcolm X. Like I was just watching that like a week and a half
Oh,
ago.
for
He
real?
played him.
Denzel-
Killed it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still feel weird about watching it, like in a good way. Like
Mhm.
you get chills
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
of
yeah.
that, like
Hell yeah.
just because it's too authentic.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And I don't even know, Malcolm X, and I feel like
You
like
know,
that's him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
or
I
that's
feel like
him. I
that's
seen
gotta be
it.
him.
Yeah, I
Gotta be
seen
him.
it acted out.
Yep.
it's definitely it's a powerful story, Malcolm X. Period.
Hell yeah.
Before we let you go,
Yeah.
I know we done beat it over the head trying to get you to say all this cultural difference shit.
And he didn't even give it to us, man. He had a good life.
I ain't gonna lie though,
Yeah,
bro.
it's
He
all right.
had no
He had a good life.
bullshit. It's a hats off to everybody that was in that arena with
Yeah.
you. Like shout out to them for that. Because
And the sport as a whole.
100%.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
sport as a whole.
I just figured it was gonna be some shit. Cause I'm like, shit, it ain't no way you would have left my black ass in there being the only black boy in the gym.
And we're kind of conditioned at this point to be ready for that type of story.
I'm just saying
And it's
I would have
refreshing.
I would have made it like I know the vibes when I'm like, I'm already gonna be loud and extra anyway. I'm gonna be communicative, like I'm just gonna make everybody talk and act like me if I can.
Yeah.
I want everybody to say, "What up, Joe?" Even though I'm the only nigga from Chicago.
That's where you get weird.
I
That's
just
weird.
like that.
So
That's
you want
team.
everybody to be you. You
no,
want a whole
no,
room
no,
to
no,
be
no,
you.
no. I don't do that. Cause I could walk in and Kyle could be like, "Hey man, I really like this song," and it get him going so crazy that I'd be like, "All right, well that's my new favorite song."
You
So
gonna
now
turn up
everybody
Kyle.
on everybody on campus finna like this song.
Yeah.
Like I'ma just be the guy that be like, "No, this shit." What you mean? I ain't know this was this shit either
'Cause
till
you put
Kyle
Kyle
told
on
me.
it.
No, because Kyle put me on,
Oh,
and it
'cause
just
he
become the team. I just want to
Yeah.
make the team nucleus, the team script.
Yeah.
Once the team script is there, I feel like now we could ride. I would like to feel like I'm on.
AKA everybody got to listen to the same music.
I wasn't gonna say shit.
AKA
One band, one sound. Hey man, like I said, man, is there anything you want to
promote.
Yeah, promote.
Yeah, no, I guess before promoting, I'm just around like culture and lacrosse and being black. I think, again, I was lucky. I was. I know that without a shadow of a doubt. But I think for me, being black within the sport, like it was my badge of honor. Like it motivated me every day to try and reach the next thing, to make sure that every black boy or girl at home saw somebody that looked like them climbing this thing. I think the one of the best awards and most prestigious awards in lacrosse is the Tewaarton Award. It's the Heisman of lacrosse. And so, internally in my family, we were always so frustrated because commentators would say, this is in college specifically, he's the best athlete on the field. Like that guy's the best athlete on the field. And my freshman year, that was definitely true. But after that, I was in the conversation for best lacrosse player on the field. And so my mentally, it switched to, I'm going to get that award. And they're going to have to call me the best lacrosse player on the field, right? So like being black within this sport, had a great experience for the most part, but like it was my badge of honor. It pushed me to just keep chasing everything so that the next generation that came after me saw that it was possible. And that, we just have our first black pro MVP 2 weeks ago. We have multiple black All-Americans right now in college. Trevor Baptiste.
Trevor Baptiste, man, shout out to you, dog.
Dope as hell. Dope as hell. He's young too, so like this ain't gonna be his last one. So like we've pushed this thing forward.
And what y'all jerseys? Crop? They the crop joints?
Oh man, we gotta get you some new film. That was back in the day they were up here. Like, no.
That's what I'm saying. I really don't know.
Yeah, we be wearing normal
If
shit.
I'm lying, I'm flying.
Yeah.
So y'all got the regular hockey joints now?
No, because keep in mind, we're talking pro. Pro guys wear gloves, arm pads, helmet, stick. If you were a rookie last year, you now wear a chest pad protecting your heart too. But like if you're grandfathered out, if I was still playing, I wouldn't have to wear one because I'm not a rookie. So it's basically like and we made this change and we launched PLL to make it like more t-shirty. So it looks, you can throw on like your jeans and this and not look whack. Now being a big jersey down.
All right, Cal, give me a jersey, Cal.
Look, you got a whole package coming. We got jerseys, we got sticks.
Fuck with me, give me my whole hands.
But fuck
with me, man.
They don't make noise. Just so you know, they don't make noise.
And now you know what?
I got an idea though, Cal. I got an idea.
I actually do have some custom incredible Hulk hands I can send you.
that you
Wait,
wanted to play
what?
lacrosse?
So yeah, I told you I had to make
Y'all
moves.
just
So we
think
got a
I'm
custom
talking
person
out
that like
here.
makes
Y'all just
stuff.
be
I got
thinking I'm
I got
Iron
Iron Man
Man.
gloves. I got
You got
what's his name?
Iron
I got
Man
Thanos gloves.
You
that,
got
like,
the
have
Thanos
the
with
diamonds.
with the stones?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
played
yeah.
in them?
No, well, I tried to match the team, so no, I didn't
No,
play. I
I'm
practice
sure.
in them. I have them.
You didn't play in them.
No, I'm trying. So y'all can wear like
You're
shoes.
a fucking 10-time All-Star. You break the
No,
rules, bro. That's what you do.
You heard what they was paying back then, $6,500. That's one fine. I got no money no more. That's a wrap.
But after that, you can't go in the negative. Can't go in the negative. You said you was getting it off the court anyway,
Those
man.
gloves, Kyle. Those gloves.
Those gloves.
Yeah, those
Jesus
gloves.
Christ, Kyle, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Let's give it up for Kyle.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming through.
Of course. Appreciate y'all. This is incredible.
Of course, man. Of course.